body and spirit. Today we're going to work through a Pilates class that will be using both improver and intermediate level exercises. Please remember with each section to regress or progress the level of the exercises as you need to so that you get the right workout for your own body. Also, a reminder that this class is designed to be used by people who've done Pilates in the past or who are taking regular Pilates classes. If this is not you, please check in with your fitness professional or your medical professional before you begin. We will today be using or having the option of using some of the equipment, balls and bands, so if you have them and want to have those ready, then do absolutely bring those in now. But each exercise is doable without the equipment if you don't have it. Let's begin. We're going to start lying down in your relaxation positions. And just take a few moments to allow yourself to come into this space, into this time. Let your mind settle here and leave everything else behind by taking a few deep and relaxing breaths. Allow your body to really rest into the ground. And allow the breaths to really fill the body as you inhale and release and relax the muscles, the bones, the organs as you exhale. Take a scan through your body. Where do you notice that you're holding tension that you don't need? Allow it to float away. Notice the soles of the feet on the ground and feel like they're about hip distance apart with the knees looking directly up to the ceiling. The toes pointing directly away from the bottom and the heels pointing towards the sit bones. Let any tension remaining in the abdomen release. Allow the breastbone to soften, the jaw to soften, and the base of the skull to feel like it's gently pulling away from a gentle length coming out through the tail and the sit bones. As we move through the pelvis, if you like to work with the ball between the knees or behind the pelvis, then you may. Or you can stay in your relaxation position as we take the breath in to prepare, breathing out to tip the pelvis to the north, to the belly button. Breathing in as we tip the pubic bone to the south, towards the ankles. Breathing out to north and into south. Trying to keep the pelvis really relaxed into the ball or into the ground. And keep the thigh bones very soft so the movement is very much a movement of your hip joint and lower back. Feel the bones moving around rather than gripping the muscles and forcing that movement. And the next time that you come to the belly button at north, we'll start to move the pelvis into its clock, taking 3 or 4 rotations of the pelvis in the clockwise direction. Maintaining stillness through the knees, the soles of the feet and the chest. And then taking 3 or 4 rotations of the pelvis in the anti-clockwise direction. Maybe noticing how one direction feels different to the other and what might be happening in your body today. As we bring the pelvis back to the belly button at north, if you have a ball, you can take it away. Allow the pelvis to come to rest onto the ground. And we'll lace the hands behind the skull, getting rid of any cushions that you have behind the head, ready for your curl-ups. Breathing in to prepare. Breathing out to draw the chin to the chest with the head on the ground and then curling up, head, neck up a bit. Inhaling as we lower. Breathing out, the the chin to the chest, and then curling up, head, neck, upper back, and inhaling to lower. Feel the flow of the chin nod moving into the curl up, and the cadence of that movement really working in line with the breath. Letting the head rest very heavily into the hands, so as you lower down you can feel the opening of each of the upper vertebrae, the spine gently beginning to stretch and elongate. Checking that the shoulders are relaxed and the pelvis is neutral. Letting this one be the last one before we move into the oblique curls, opposite armpit to opposite hip. Again, making sure that we begin with the nod of the chin to the chest before the head begins to lift. And that each curl up is an even amount of rotation and curl. Thinking the armpit to the opposite hip. And checking that the pelvis is remaining really calm, still, and stable. Completing the last one, we can let it come to rest and think about taking the hands away from the skull. Again, you won't need the cushion as we bring the feet closer to the bottom for your spine curls. The breath coming in and filling the spine to prepare. The breath coming out as we north tilt and curl away. Inhaling as we come down. And exhaling as we curl. Not worrying too much about the height, but really feeling into the movement, which components of the movement are working nicely, which need to be encouraged as you work today. As you tip the pelvis to the north, feeling the belly button really imprint into the spine and into the ground, allowing the hips to tilt and calmly flow like water as the pelvis lifts and each bone moves one at a time. Feeling the imprint of the soles of the feet into the ground as those hips climb and the spine flows up. And this time we'll curl it to the top and let it stay there. If you'd like to challenge this, really imprinting the soles of the feet into the ground as the knees feel longer, the arms can reach to rib cage closure, or leave them on the ground if you prefer as we take the heel marches. Letting the right heel lift from the floor, but focusing the attention on the imprint of the left foot into the ground. Swapping, really imprinting the right foot as the left heel lifts away. And each time we alternate, mostly being interested in the imprint through the foot to feel the connection happening through the back of the glutes, the elongation between the knees and the fingertips, allowing the side of the body to elongate, open and stretch. We'll take the last one on each side, and do remember, if you prefer, you can take this with a full lift of the foot to make it harder. Once you're even, keep reaching knees and fingertips, increase the north tilt as we come down through the vertebra, bone by bone, and then we're bringing the arms up into the shoulder drop position and taking a couple of shoulder drops to really release the shoulder joint, feeling the length through the fingertips and the connection in the shoulder blades. Here we'll take hip rolls so the feet can come a little further away from the bum and connect the knees, ankles tightly together. If you'd like to reintroduce the cushion, do. And if you prefer to challenge this by working in the double knee fold position, then do. We're taking the breath all of the way out to connect to the center, but keep the spine long. Inhale as we rotate over to one side through that hip roll. And exhale. exhale as we return back. Top, middle, bottom of the spine, and then pelvis and feet. Inhaling to rotate and exhaling to return. As you breathe in and rotate, feel the core get stronger but the spine get longer with that breath in. Breathing out, keeping the spine long as you reconnect to the core in order to come back bone by bone by bone. You can include the turn of the head, turning the chin in the opposite direction to the knees. If you want to start adding in your neck rolls, lead from the chin so the back of the skull and neck stay long and open. Let's take the last one each way, and please remember you can of course do this with the arms on the ground if you need that extra stability. As you come back to center, we'll let it stay there. And again, thinking about taking the feet back hip distance apart and resting the hands on the ground at the side of the hips as we start to move through your roll-ups. The breath is coming in, and as you exhale, maintain strong center to slide the legs away, keeping the spine long, but preventing the curve through the lower back or the tension or lift of the breastbone in the rib cage. Now, of course, you can do this exercise starting from sitting and with the band around the sole of the feet. I will demonstrate that as we go through, but if you're able, do start from laying on the ground. Exhaling to prepare, let the spine get longer, connect the core. Inhale fully as you curl up, chin nod, head, neck, shoulders, arms lift. Exhale as the belly button connects to the lower back and you glide as far as you can into the curl up and forward reach. Inhale fully into the spine as we roll back, tail to the heels, soften the hips, and exhale as you complete that roll back. Inhaling for the curl up and exhaling to roll up and forward spinal stretch. Inhaling for the roll back, exhaling as you come out of your curl up. And we'll go again. You can really allow your breath to help you with this. Each of the inhalations, filling the back of the spine, trying to breathe fully into the back of the body to really open the space in the vertebra and give them more scope to move. The out breath coming at the most challenging point as you peel the heaviest part of the body away from the floor, or control as the heaviest part of the body is elongated and lowered into the ground. We'll take 3 more, and if you do like to use the band for this, you have it around the sole of the feet, making sure you're connected to the heel as well as the ball of the toe part of the foot. And the only difference is your forward spinal stretch will be slightly smaller. Allow the band to do the work if you're using the band. And the next time that we roll down onto the back, we can let it stay there and think about your leg circles. And again, of course, if you'd like to use the band for your leg circles, you may, taking the right leg up into the air with the band around the sole of the foot. If that top leg is extended and lifted straight, then we want a pointy foot and the turn out in the leg. The underneath leg, if it's straight, flex it, lengthen it, anchor it to the ground, or choose instead to have it bent with the sole of the foot on the ground. If you have no band, choose the top leg extended, again if it's straight, out, point the foot. And if you're bending the knee, it's in parallel. Wherever you are, keep the pelvis still. Particularly think about the east and west bones staying level with each other. Inhale as the leg comes across the body, and exhale as we circle the thigh around. Inhaling fully as you come across, and exhale to circle. We'll take 2 more in this direction. And the next time that the leg comes across the body, changing direction. Exhaling to circle, and inhale as it comes across. This remains true whether you're working with straight or bent legs. We're keeping the pelvis still. All of the movement is in the hip joint. And the next time that the leg comes across the body, you can let it stay there. And relax and switch legs. Again, choosing your level on the other side. Bent knees, straight knees, band or no band. And when you're ready, the breath is coming in as the leg comes across the body, and exhaling to circle. And as you're working, check the breastbone stays soft and relaxed, the shoulders relaxed and the jaw relaxed. Changing direction when you've done 5. And check into the length of the spine, the base of the skull pulling away, the lower leg, if it's straight, anchoring to the ground and reaching, the sit bones pulling or lengthening away. And the next time that you come across the body, you can again let that leg come to rest. And we'll let both legs slide out to straight for your hundreds. If you prefer to have the knees bent up in relaxation position or lifted in the double knee fold or leg extension, then please do. Inhaling through the spine fully. Exhaling to nod the chin to the chest, curl up, let the arms lift. Take the breath in and out, and in and out, in and out, and in and out. Each time you breathe in, feeling the breath come right into the back of the spine, elongating it. Feel the heels, the thigh bones lengthening away from the centre. Lifting the pelvic floor and the belly button upwards and inwards. The base of the skull, the back of the neck and chest relaxed and gently lengthening away. The next time that you exhale, we let the head and the arms rest down to the ground. And we can roll it onto your sides, ready for some sideline legs. We're going to work with the legs in turnout, if that's good for your bodies. Beginning, therefore, with the cushion between the head and the arms. And deciding whether your free arm is resting on the ground to support you or beginning to find a more challenging position. Starting actually with the legs in parallel for the torpedo to begin with. Inhale, feel the spine get longer, the legs and arms get longer. Exhale, connect to the centre as the legs lift. Inhale, lower. Exhaling to lift and inhaling to lower. Again, feeling the flow, the rhythm of the movement in line with the out breath and the connection to your centre each time the legs lift. Feel the breath filling the spine fully as you lower. And the next time that the legs lower, they hover just above the ground. And we'll take the thighs into turn out on both legs. Make sure the hip is relaxed and it's the thigh bones rotating. The underneath leg drops and anchors gently into the ground, still in turn out. And the top thigh gets longer as the leg lifts and lowers. The faster you work here, the more of a kick you have, the more control you need through the stability in the pelvis and the connection to your center. You can point the foot on the way up and flex it as the leg lengthens on the way down. And thinking about the leg circles, the next time we lift, we stay there. Inhale. Exhale as the leg circles around. Inhaling at the top and exhale to circle. And the next time the leg lifts, hold it. Exhale, change direction. Inhaling at the top. Exhaling to circle. We'll take the last two, and as the leg finishes at the top for the final time, flexing the foot, lengthening and lowering back to the ground. We can roll it onto the tummy for your diamond press, which of course you can do with the ball under the breastbone if you'd like to. I will demonstrate both. The legs elongating hip distance apart, head resting into the gap between the thumb and the index fingers, and breathing into the lower back to prepare. Keep that length as you exhale, belly button connects, and we lengthen and lift the skull, the throat, the neck, dropping the breastbone into the ball or into the ground as you lift into the diamond press. Inhale and feel the spine get longer as you lower. Breathing out to lift and breathing in to lower. And so whether you're working with the ball or not, but particularly with the ball, as you lift, you can feel the breastbone dropping and gently pushing forwards towards the thumbs or into the ball. Keeping that length that you've gained as you lower down. We'll let the next two be the last two, checking into the length and stability in the lower back. All this movement happening from crown of the head to between the shoulder blades, no more. And as we complete the last one, you can roll it onto the other side, and we'll think about taking the legs. Starting off with your torpedo, having both legs long, parallel and together, and choosing where you want your supporting arm to be. Breathe in as you elongate through the spine in both directions, and exhale, connect to the center as the legs lift. Inhaling to lower and exhaling to lift. Each breath in as the legs lower, feeling that spine get longer. Each breath out, feeling the connection in the center, working in line with the breath to lift the legs. Let the hips be relaxed and the thigh bones long. And the next time the legs lower, they hover just from the ground and find your turnout with both legs. The underneath leg anchoring to the ground, and the top leg taking its lift and lower. You can point the left foot as it comes up and flex the ankle as it comes down. And again, you can take this into a little bit of a kick, provided the pelvis stays still and stable. The waistline into the ground every time the leg lifts. Use the heel to lengthen the leg as it lowers, and the next time we lift it up, we'll hold it there, take the breath in, and circle as you exhale. Excuse me. Inhaling at the top and exhale to circle. At the top, changing direction. Feel the underneath leg also helping you. Both legs wrapping around, turning out, and the underneath leg connecting into the ground. At the top, leave the leg there. You can flex the foot as the leg lowers back down to the ground and let it relax. And once you're there, you can roll back over onto your back. Working through the series of 5 is much more of an intermediate level sequence. So please rest when you need to. Take the series of 5 at the pace that you want. And remember to change any of the exercises to make them harder or easier as you need. We'll begin with your single leg stretch. Taking the breath in, and as you breathe out, bringing both knees into the double knee fold, keeping the toes together as we separate the knees hip distance apart. Think about your core connection. Where do you need your center to be? Inhale. As you exhale, curl up, take hold of the shins and see how close they come to the shoulders without lifting the pelvis out of neutral. It's a real fold in the front of the hip flexors. Keep the curl up long and extended. And then when you're ready, taking one leg out, hugging the other knee in. Inhale, exhale, and keep changing the legs. The legs remain turned out as we work, the thigh bones wrapping around and the knees looking outwards. The curl up is the priority. Let that dictate how low the legs can travel to the ground. Keep the pelvis neutral. Last one, right side, left side, and then double leg stretch, starting in the double knee fold before taking both legs out and in. As the legs extend out, you inhale. As the knees draw in, you exhale. Breathe into the entire spine. Breathe out, connect to your center. Really allow the hips to move, but do not allow the pelvis to shift. And the height of your curl up will dictate the height of your legs. Don't let them go so low that the belly pushes out or the back arches. We complete the last one and then we're ready for your single leg stretch with straight legs, one leg up, one leg out, and keep swapping them like scissors. The curl up still as high as you can manage, the pelvis still, the legs rotated and turned out. Use the hands to pull the leg towards you and over the head. Use that pull to help the other leg feel longer as it presses down with intention. The last exercise, the last repetition, and then we're going into your crisscross. Bring the legs back into single leg stretch, but adding in your oblique rotation. We take the last one each way. Both legs come up to the ceiling and thinking about your leg lowers. Are you taking one leg down and up, or 2 legs down and up? How far do the legs go without the pelvis shifting, the belly bulging, and keeping your curl up? Your hands are behind your head, let them help you. Last one. And then you can bend off the knees, let the head lower, and carefully place the feet one at a time into your relaxation position. Allow yourselves a couple of breaths to recover. Well done. And when you're ready, you can bring the feet ankles tightly together and slide the legs away, flexing off the feet. You're going to roll or ease yourself up to sitting. And once you're in the seated position, if you like to work with the little ball, lifting the buttock cheeks up behind you, then you can, to help your alignment in your seated position. Thinking about your waist twist, we're taking both arms out at shoulder height, letting the shoulders drop and relax, but feeling the fingertips elongate as those shoulders relax. The shoulder blades should feel connected in the upper back, and you're lifting through your centre as you drop through the sit bones. To the right hand side, we rotate head, neck, ribs, but not the pelvis, and come back to centre, changing sides. As you turn, breathing in, and as you centre, breathing out. Inhale to rotate, and exhale to centre. Breathing in as you rotate is quite tricky. Keep connected through your centre, let the breath elongate the spine. And then once you're done, you can let the arms rest and let the legs come comfortably wide, ready for your saw. Excuse me. Again, returning the arms out, shoulder width apart. Sorry, not shoulder width apart, wide out to the sides with a little bit of pinch through the shoulder blades. Let the shoulders relax and the fingertips lengthen. We rotate to your right, head, neck, ribs. Let the arms continue, let the back arm drop, and then nodding the ear to the chest as you roll down through the spine and take your triple reach. With both arms, front arm reaching forwards, back backwards, before you roll up and centre. We'll do the same thing on the other side. As you roll down and take your triple reach, make sure the bottom cheek behind you stays grounded. Both knees are looking directly up to the ceiling. Now, if you know this well, you can start to increase the pace of this movement. Inhaling to roll up and change. Exhaling to roll down and triple reach. Last one each way. And then as you come back to centre, let it come to rest and relax. We'll tuck the legs around to one side and start to think about your side bridge exercise. So choosing your level 1 with the knees bent, resting the hand just underneath the shoulder or thereabouts. Level 2, interlocking the ankles with the top knee looking more towards the ceiling and the sole of the foot pressing into the ground. Reach the arm away, take a look at it. Breathe in, connect the hands and the knees into the ground. Breathe out, lift, pushing the hands, the knees or the feet into the ground as you find your side reach. Inhale, keep connected into the ground through the hands and the knees or the feet as you lower. Let's take the last two. On the last one, we're going to stay at the top if you can and think about your lift and lower. The top leg will need to either extend out straight or place itself on top, and you lift and lower in parallel. Let's take the last three. Keep connected, pubic bone to the belly button, feet and knees or hand into the ground. Coming down, lifting as you lower. When you're done, let's change sides. Preparing with the breath in, connecting into the ground, breathing out to lift. So the connection of the palm of the hand and the knees if you're kneeling or the feet if you're not, pressing down into the floor can really assist the idea of then connecting and lifting through your pelvic floor, belly button, inner thighs, your centre. Letting the head guide the movement as it lengthens and the arm reaches. We'll stay at the top when you're ready, and you'll need to either extend the underneath leg or place it on top in order to lift and lower. Do make sure you're lifting off the armpit, the shoulder is away from the ear and connected into the shoulder girdle. And then we'll let this one be the last one. Let it come down and relax. Beautiful. Let's roll onto your tummies and we'll think about your leg kicks and your cobras. Starting off with the single leg kicks. Again, think about the legs being hip distance apart, parallel. The lower back separating and lengthening by elongating the distance between the back of the ribs and pelvis. Do this without squeezing and gripping the bottom. Feel the base of the skull pulling away from the tail as you breathe in. As you breathe out, heel to bottom, flex the foot, inhale, foot to the ground as you point. Change sides. Exhale, heel to the bottom. Inhale, lower. Exhaling, heel to butt. Inhaling, lowering. Flexing the foot as it comes in and pointing the ankle as it lowers. Elongate the knee each time it bends. This is supposed to be lengthening through the front of the thigh, pelvis, hips and lower abdomen. You can take the double pulse if you know what you're doing and you want to. Remember to keep your centre stable so there's no wibble wobbles through the core as you pulse. We're taking the last one with the left. And then thinking about your plank. Bringing the elbows underneath the armpits, making a fist with one hand and wrapping the other hand around that fist into your wraparound grip. You're breathing into the lower back as you prepare. Breathe out, scoop the abdomen from the ground and press the forearms and elbows into the floor. The hips will lift and elevate. You're currently on your knees and elbows. If you'd like to go harder, inhale, tuck the toes underneath you. Exhale, lift the belly and pelvic floor some more so you can take the knees from the ground. Elongating the knees and pushing the heels away, relaxing the shoulders and lengthening the base of the skull. You can stay here either on the toes or on the knees for as long as you need. And of course, if that's longer than I'm going to give you, then you can pause and rewind for the next exercise when you're ready. For now, let's take one more breath and then let it come to rest. And we'll come back onto your tummies, ready for your cobras. Separating the hands away from the head, fingertips in line with the forehead and the elbows. Inhale to elongate the lower back. Exhale, keep that lower back long as we engage the centre, move through the diamond press and into your cobra. Inhale as it comes down, and when we get there, let's turn the head to the right hand side. And on the next breath out, coming up with the head looking to the right. At the top, turning the head from right to left, breathing in and breathing out, coming down, keeping the eye line to the left. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curling into the cobra, keep looking to your left, and at the top, breathe in to switch the head from left to right. And then coming down as you exhale, keep looking to your right, take the breath in to prepare when you get to the bottom. Exhaling, curling up as you inhale, switch the head. Keep it there as you exhale, come down and inhale, prepare. Exhale, lengthening as you curl up and switching the head as you breathe in. Exhale as it comes down. Each time you curl up, being mindful to let the breastbone drop and keep the shoulders very still. When you're turning and including the chin turn or the neck roll in your Cobra, it's really tempting for the shoulders to try to look a little bit in the direction of the head. We're not letting that happen. So the next time that you come down and your head is looking to the right hand side, we'll let it stay there and let it rest. And at this point you can draw the bottom back onto your heels and find your rest position, your child's pose. Take the time with this position, work with it as you need to. Maybe that's tucking the toes under. Maybe it's reaching more over to one side and then the other. Or maybe you prefer just to keep this centered and allow the bottom to drop and the arms to reach. We'll take the last 2 breaths in this position. And then thinking about coming out onto the hands and knees for your Superman. The Superman obviously has lots of levels which you can make use of. You can take just arms, you can take just the leg, you can take the opposite arm and leg. You can also use the toe taps, which in our regular classes we've been doing for quite some time. And you can also include, if you want to really challenge, the cat with the Superman. This is really an opportunity to take this exercise as you would like to. But pick one and stick with it. And we'll take the last 2 on each side. Or the last sequence. And once you've completed the last one, we'll slip one leg in front of the other, ready for your pigeon stretch. And of course, if pigeon isn't appropriate for you, then this is the time which you'll take your glute stretch instead. With one leg tucked in front of the other, decide whether you're staying on your hands, moving down onto your elbows, maybe resting the chin in the hands, or extending the arms out fully to rest the head on the ground. We'll take 2 more breaths in this position. And then when you're ready to, swapping for the other leg. Let this be your last breath and let yourself unroll and unravel out of your pigeon and come back around to sitting. Once you're in the seated position, we'll take your boomerang preparation. So let me turn on the diagonal to give you the best view. You guys can face whichever way you need to, and we'll take the right ankle on top of the left. You can use the squidgy balls behind you to lift the bottom cheeks if that helps with your seating alignment. Breathing out to prepare, lengthen the spine, connect to your centre. Inhale to lift the arms up to shoulder height and take them from front around to back, taking your wrap around grip. Inhale as you nod the chin to the chest and roll down through the spine, and exhale as you complete the return of the arms from the back to the front, right wrist over left. Inhale to let it unravel to sitting, and I'm sorry I messed up your breathing. Let me say it again. Inhale to lift the arms from front to back, taking your wraparound grip. Exhale as you roll through the curl over. Inhale as you take the arms from back to front, right wrist over left. And exhale to unravel to sitting. We'll take one more. Inhaling to lift and circle the arms to the wraparound grip. Exhale as you curl over. Inhale to let the hands go. Right wrist coming over left in front. Exhale to unravel to sitting and swap the left ankle over the right. Lifting the arms, breathing in as you circle them from front to back. And exhale as we curl over. Inhale, let the arms go, left wrist over right this time. And then unraveling to sitting as you breathe out. Let's do two more. For the last one, make sure the eyes stay fully ahead until the hands are completely connected. And as you roll over, lift into that roll over. Let the shoulders roll down the back as you take the arms from back to front. And lift through the spine as you unravel to sitting. Once you're sitting, you can let the feet unravel so they're now side by side. And we'll think about taking your leg pull facing frontwards. If this is not appropriate for you, then it may be a time where you want to think about doing some spine curls with the feet on the wall. But if your wrists and shoulders are okay, we're pointing the fingertips sideways and slightly resting back into the hands. Make sure you're neither overly lifted nor overly dropped. Place the shoulder girdles so the collarbones and the shoulder blades feel equally wide, and lift through your centre. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, north tilt, curl up. Keep looking forwards. Inhale as you roll down. Exhale, tilt, lift and curl. Inhale to lower. Let's keep it going. There's a fair few options you can take with this and a few things to watch out for. So each time you lift and lower, we're making sure that we're not collapsing into the shoulders, particularly on the way down. Keep pressing the palms of the hands into the ground and lifting off the armpits. If you want to go harder, you can stay at the top and take your point and flex of the ankles, a maximum of 3 before you come down. And if you want to challenge it harder still, and you know what you're doing, you can take this into the leg kicks, pointing as it lifts, flexing as it lowers. 3 on one side, and then 3 on the other. So whichever you choose will make this one your last one. And as you come down, let it come to rest and relax. Well done, you're working hard. So we're going to come to standing now. And again, if you like working in the standing position with the ball between the inner thighs, you can. And you can do that throughout this little sequence of roll down, press up, roll up. Just before you begin, it's the first thing we're doing standing, so take a few minutes to connect to your standing position, balancing the weight between all 5 balls of the toes, the outside edge of the sole of the foot and the centre of the heel. If you have a ball, feel the connection on the ball. That may mean your feet are not hip distance apart. Drop the tail, lift the pubic bone, take the base of the skull, lift it away and take your breath in as you prepare to roll down. Exhale, chin to chest and lifting through the curl over and the spine as you roll down. At the bottom you can walk the hands away if you're able. 3 steps is what we're aiming for to find your press up position. Inhale to bend and exhale to straighten. Again, a maximum of 3, which of course you can do with the knees on the floor should you need to. Walking the hands back to the feet, let the head drop, and then lifting the belly button to roll you back to standing, where we'll rise onto the toes, pressing through the balls of the toes into the ground. And reach the arms through the floating arms up and down. You're ready to begin again. Exhaling to curl through, and at the bottom, inhaling as you walk the hands away, either onto the toes or the knees. Exhale, lift your centre, prepare. Inhale, bend the elbows and exhale, straighten. A maximum of 3 before you walk the hands into the feet, breathing in and breathing out to roll it up to standing, where we'll inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, lower and roll it through the spine. Inhaling, walking the hands away to your leg pull or press up position. Now you do not have to do your press ups. You can stay here and simply breathe for 3 breaths, just like you did in the plank. Walking the hands back to the feet, letting the head drop, breathing in, breathing out to roll it up. Inhale, rise, reach. Exhale, lower, roll it through the spine. And of course, not only do you not have to do your press-ups, if you're simply breathing, you can do that on your knees too, if you prefer. For the last time then, we'll come down from your rise, roll through the spine and walk the hands away. And this time, as we roll back up to standing, find your final rise and reach. And if you have a ball between the inner thighs, take it away. And we'll take your lunges. I'm going to introduce the dumbwaiter with the lunges. So if you'd like to do the dumbwaiter and you'd like to add on a band, then please do. 1 foot in front of the other, back heel lifted, and both feet hip distance apart. Make sure the back foot is neither looking outwards or inwards. Toes, knee, pelvic bones looking straight ahead. Inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten and open the dumbwaiter. Each time you bend, you're breathing in so that you can exhale, push the floor away and lift your center with the power of your out breath. take the last one. And then swap sides for the same thing. Inhaling to bend and exhaling to straighten. Opening the arms into the dumbwaiter as you straighten the knees and breathe out. So making sure that as I bend into the back knee, the pubic bone is lifting to the belly button and the back knee is in line with the pelvis, the hip and the shoulder and the ear. And making sure the back heel is lifted, the front foot is firmly into the ground, and the front knee does not exceed the front line of the toes. In a textbook, knees are at 90 degrees, but you know who you are if you need to have the feet closer. Let's take the last one, and then you can let it come back to parallel. And for your band up and over, switching the hands around so that the palms are looking backwards into the band. Feet are hip distance apart. And you're connecting strongly again to your centre whilst balancing the soles of the feet and lengthening the spine. Let the arms come up, take a good breath in. Breathe out, let the band come to the bottom as you exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Let's do it again. Now, if you don't have a band or don't wish to use a band, it's fine, nothing changes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And whether you're using a band or not, the arms are coming forwards, the band stretches wide, and you take the arms as far behind you as you're able without letting your body lose alignment. So we're not letting the back arch. We're not letting the wrist bend or break, especially if you're using a band. And we're not letting the shoulders shrug and push that band over, but keeping them dropped and wide. Let's take the last one. And as the arms come back to rest in front of you, you can let the band go and you can relax. Take a moment, feel into your bodies. Just double check there's nothing else your body needs you to do before you stop. And then for today, ladies and gentlemen, that is enough. Well done, really good work. I've enjoyed working with you today. Please revisit this video as often as you need. Lots of love.